It's time to play the High Bob game. Simply watch the Bob...
Oh, I wanted to hear what that lady said.
As I was saying, simply watch the Bob Newhart show and count how many times people say, "Hi, Bob."
Well, why don't we start things off?
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Wakey, wakey, Aiken Basie.
Sorry, try again.
Darn it.
Everybody loves the Hi Bob game.
This is the greatest game I've ever seen.
Weeknights at 10:30, 9:30 Central on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Malos, and welcome to this edition of Connect with Me, live on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Wednesday morning. And today we're going to be talking to two guests. We'll be talking about Edison High School and a big fundraiser coming up next month. Your phone calls are important. Hey, I didn't forget the phone number this time, 436-MeTV, option 11. Don't wade through the message. We'll take your phone calls as soon as you call in. Back in a moment. I don't want to make this sound like an infomercial today, because that's not what we're here for here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, but we want to hear from you because we're talking about a good cause today. We're talking about a fundraiser for one of the best high schools in the entire Central Valley right now, and it's Edison, the Edison Tigers. And I don't know if you have a son or a daughter or maybe a niece and a nephew that's going to school there right now, but you know, Edison has come a long way. When you think of Edison, though, the first thing that crosses my mind, and maybe you too, I'm not sure, you think of their football team, maybe because of Tim McDonald, I'm not sure, what a great team they had. And number two, you think of their basketball team. But have you ever thought of Edison High School in terms of academics? Well, maybe, maybe not. Well, we're going to talk about a fundraiser that takes place next month. I'll take you to, not the video, but the photos. It's called Tiger Town. It takes place August the 10th at the Ernie Valdez Hall, that's in downtown Fresno near the convention center, of course. It is a fundraising dinner. Last year was the first year of Tiger Town. The whole purpose is to try to raise money for these kids, high school kids, and try to get them scholarships to go to college. Now, last year they raised a lot of money, some $15,000. This will be the second year. They had 900 people. It cost $45 last year. This year, though, hey, because of their big success, they're charging $5 more. It'll be $50 for you to get inside the door, but they're expecting more than 900. These are some of the photos from last year. We'll change it and go to the last one there. There's the dinner, 900 in all. This thing was started a year ago, the brainchild. It was thought of by Jim Aldridge. He worked with the city of Fresno. We have two guests, though, in our studio that are a part of that. Live in our studio right now is Don Slade, a graduate of Edison High School. Hey, he was a great basketball player in his time, played basketball for Fresno City College, and the current principal at Edison High. If you have any questions for either one of them, call in at 436-MeTV, hit option 11. Be patient, don't wade through the message, let your fingers do the walking, and we're back with our program in 1 moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
It's called Tiger Town. It's a big dinner that takes place at the Ernie Valdez Hall at the Convention Center in downtown Fresno on August the 10th. You better get your tickets, and we'll tell you how to get those tickets through our two guests today. Don Slade, good to see you. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to come in. And Lindsay Sanders, the principal at Edison High School. Yes. How are you?
Great, thank you.
All right, you both look great today. You look spiffy.
You look great also.
Oh, thank you very much. So Tiger Town, tell me about it. We'll start with you, Lindsay.
Well, you know, I was fortunate to land in Edison last year when it actually started, and it's not...
You're like a first-year principal there, right?
This is my second year.
So it's a learning curve for you, right? okay.
Exactly. And it was a great experience for me because it was an opportunity to meet wonderful community members that are very active, involved, want to participate in helping raise funds for Edison High School. And so for me, the first experience was just amazing. Having 900 people there that went to Edison, it gives you the full vision of why people love to be a Tiger, why they love to be at Edison, and it gave me the opportunity to meet some amazing people, Don Slade being one of them, Jim Aldridge, other committee members that are involved as well, Martha Taylor.
I mentioned, Don, that Jim Aldridge was the brainchild of this. In fact, you told me that. Who is he exactly?
Jim Aldridge is a community person, a graduate of Edison High School. And as you mentioned earlier, former employee of the city of Fresno. Jim had the vision that, hey, you know what? Rather than just have a reunion, let's have it with a purpose, and the purpose being to help the students at Edison High School.
And the best way to help them is try to raise money for scholarships to help these students go to college. Because most of them can't afford it. Is that true?
No, I wouldn't say that. But it's not just for scholarships. We also, like the Spirit Shop. There was no Spirit Shop at Edison High School.
What is that?
We provided the seed money.
Well, we didn't have a spirit store where we could sell items and a teacher who would oversee
like
t-shirts
that.
And so it gave us some seed money to start a spirit store, and we have that now landed. And on our website, there's actually a link to where you can start purchasing items, but we needed a bank of money to be able to get items ahead of time. And eventually that teacher plans to grow and develop and be able to start printing their own shirts down the road, obviously. But it's an opportunity for our kids. They take a business management course, which will allow them then to also run the spirit store and market and create items for the store. We also had silent auctions for both all of our athletic teams that contributed. So some of the money raised went to athletics based on the items that were sold during the auction. They sold items themselves, just particles like shirts and stuff for basketball or baseball or football. So they made funds that way as well.
We got 4 pictures to show in this segment before we go to commercial break here. I want to put one of them up first, the first photo coming up here. And Don, you can explain what we're seeing here. This is from last year's celebration, is that correct?
That is correct. Last year was the first year. It was 105 years, now it's 106 years this year.
So that means that Edison has been in existence 106 years.
Yes.
And still going strong.
Still going strong.
My goodness. Let's change the photo and put the next one up here. 105 years, that's just some of the celebratory things that were at the dinner last year, also held at the Ernie Valdez Hall. What are we looking at here?
That's the silent auction.
Okay.
We did a dessert auction, and actually all the funds raised through the dessert auction, people purchased desserts for their table, went to our music program. So it was another group that had an opportunity to raise funds, and one of our parents and several of our parents were very active in helping get that going.
This is one of the, is that also the silent auction?
No, that's dessert auction.
That is the dessert auction.
Okay.
We had a lot of desserts that were purchased that evening.
Give us an idea what you had for dessert.
There were cakes, there were cookies, there were pies, there were homemade pies. It was brownies, just different items that people could purchase and take to their table and share with their table if they chose to. And the parents either baked them or had them donated and set them out for auction.
Now, talking to you on the phone last week, Don, I remember I mentioned to you that, you know, when I first came to Fresno, nobody thought of Edison High School as an academic school. We thought of Edison as a great football team. They had a great basketball team. But now Edison is considered one school that is known for its academics. Why and when did that turnaround take place, and how did it take place?
You know what? Lindsay could probably answer that better than me, but I think it took place when you started having what do you call the
Computech?
Computech.
I can't speak for the past prior to when Computech opened, because I wasn't in Fresno and in the area.
But in your opinion, I want your opinion. What's your opinion as to why they turned around?
Well, I didn't think it turned around. I went to Edison. I was successfully academically also. It's just that sports were center. They were out front.
That was the centerpiece, yeah.
That was the centerpiece because Edison had a great sports tradition.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about academics, but trust me, there were a lot of academic students on that campus that were very successful.
What type of things can you learn at Edison if you are interested in academics but not sports?
Right, so I just want to just go back to what Dawn said really quickly about the fact that if you talk to anybody that graduated from Edison, we talk about the athletics, but every person you talk to in the community, when they got from the 80s, the 70s, 60s back, their experience is not just about athletics. They're academically involved, and there was successes. It just wasn't highlighted. Currently at Edison, we're just fortunate to have, we have over 20 AP classes offered, the most in the Valley of any high school, if you look around, which is phenomenal. Over 1,100 AP advanced placement exams were given last year. That's significant.
What's the graduation rate at Edison?
You know what? I don't know what it is this year, and I would have to go back and look at my data. But
roughly speaking,
I want to say it's a 75% graduation rate, but that's a misquote. I don't really know exactly.
And obviously, you'd like it to be better than that.
Oh, 100%, obviously. I think that we follow the same trend most people in the Valley follow, as well as in the state of California, unfortunately. The other things we have, opportunities for our students, is we have 3 pathways that have developed that are science and technology and engineering math related. We have a biomedicine pathway in its second year. We have over 200 freshmen that applied for that program. We have an engineering pathway in its third year, and we graduated our first group of kids from the Green Academy, which is 10th through 12th grade. Kids earn about 11 college credits learning about green energy. So it's a pretty amazing opportunity. So there's lots of things if you're into theater, music, science, and then athletics, obviously. And so we have lots of opportunities for kids.
Okay, we're talking with Lindsay Sanders. She is the principal at Edison High School, and Don Slade, he's a committee member, for talking about Tigertown. It's a fundraising event for the students there. They range from, scholarships to any number of things that they want to raise money for these kids. Last year they raised $15,000. If you're interested, call in 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're back with Connect with Me in just a moment.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Warning, warning. Danger, danger. A strange world is on Me TV.
A world somehow like ours, but of incredible darkness and fear.
What is the show called?
It has been called many different names by many different cultures.
Oh, I know. It's called Lost in Space. Saturday at 8, 7 Central on Me TV.
Don Slade is our guest. He is from Tigertown, and Lindsay Sanders is the principal at Edison High School. Don, what's your involvement specifically with Tigertown?
I became involved after the inception. I was at a birthday party, and I was speaking with Craig Reed, who's one of the founders also, and his wife was there. And I told her, hey, if you need some help, have him give me a call. I want to get involved. And he called me, and so I became involved. I came involved as an alumni. I coached at Edison High School basketball for a couple of years, and I've been in the community all my life, and I just wanted to be more involved.
Yeah, and you're a big supporter of the school. There's no question about it.
Yes.
What's different about Edison High School now today as opposed to when you went to school, other than the time period? We know, you went to school there what year? What year did you graduate?
1965.
You're proud to say that, too.
I'm proud to say that.
I almost hesitated what year, but you came right out with it.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, all right. So is it pretty much the same school?
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's not the same school. But I can't say it's better. I can't say it's worse. It just depends on...
What's different about it, do you think?
Well, the makeup of the school is different. Mm-hmm. Back then, it was more of a community school. Now, you got students come from all over the city. Mm-hmm. So when we say Tigertown, we're not just talking about the Edison High people who live in that area.
Is it more multicultural now, too,
yes,
than it was back in 65, 66?
Yes, it is.
So you have all sorts of races, religions, cultures that go there to Edison High School for whatever reason, because it's a good school, I guess.
Yes, it's a great school.
Yeah, and do you find, Lindsay, that you have people clamoring to get in there? They want to go to Edison?
Oh, absolutely. This first year, actually, I didn't see the information last year, but we have about 50 to 60 kids on a waiting list this year. that we can't fit because we're at capacity. And it's a phenomenal opportunity for kids who want to be at that school. They get along very well. It is very multicultural. We talk about diversity, though, at Edison, about mind, body, and spirit. Yeah. It's not just diversity of culture, really. These kids have such diverse interests that they find their niche there. Whether they're really into robotics and they want to be in the engineering program, they're into forensics or speech and debate, they're into athletics. They just converge and they're harmonious.
And don't you think
so
having
different.
Diversity helps you when you graduate? Because that's the world that we live in. We're a multicultural world.
Yes.
Yes.
So how does that help you in school? Does it help you prepare for the outside world?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Just through my lifetime, I've come across people from all races, all nationalities, and it's helped me tremendously to be able to, be a part of different organizations. You talked about our sponsors. Like right now, we're at like a $15,000 so far in sponsors.
Yeah.
We're looking for $20,000 in sponsorships.
Yeah.
And that's just not Edison community. That's all over Fresno. Mm-hmm.
I want to put up 4 more photos here before we go to our next break, and we can talk about Tigertown. I can't believe you guys had this dinner for the first time last year, and you attracted 900 people. That's amazing. Look at this photo here. What are we looking at, Don?
You're looking at some former students of Edison, some friends. They may not have graduated from Edison, but they're a part of the community also.
Right, supporters of Tigertown, yes. And some more beautiful
supporters.
Young ladies there. Yes. Who are they? Do you know?
I don't know the names of any of those ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but part of obviously the community there, and here we're looking at
having a great time.
More people having a great time at Tigertown, kind of showing off there a little bit, having a great time. Everybody's smiling, and they must have eaten some of those desserts off that dessert table. Yeah. Anyway, more photos here, and good-looking folks there, having a good time. Last year, at last year's event, how did you attract 900 people the first year?
Well,
that's a lot of people.
It took a lot of people to do it. I mean, it's like if I say I'm going and I can find 2 more people, and you're one of them, and then you can find 2 more people. Yeah. You kind of get the tentacles out there.
Right.
And that helps out. It's a community effort. It's not one person or 2 people. It's a lot of people.
It's almost like a chain reaction.
It is. It is.
But were you surprised at the large number of people that showed up last year?
Absolutely. When you land at a new school, you get indoctrinated into the culture, but not that quickly. And it was pretty amazing. I haven't experienced anything like that. And when you talk to people, the way they talk about Edison, whether it's 2 people, 900 people, every person I've talked to that's graduated talks about just their experience and the love that they have for Edison. It's pretty powerful.
I'll bet that's more people than some that show up at the Grizzlies game.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? I mean, 900. I shouldn't say that because I like the Grizzlies. I go out there and support them too. But I mean, that's a lot of folks to get in that hall for a dinner.
I'd like to say this also.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jim Pardini, who was the caterer for our event, was fantastic in terms of his support of us. I mean, the meal was fantastic, and Jim helped out greatly in our success in terms of the money that we were able to generate from the meal.
Right. Right, and that's not an easy job, catering 900 people. Catering a dinner that has that many is a difficult task, no doubt. So, all right, we're time to take a break here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, talking to Lindsay Sanders, the principal at Edison High, and Don Slade, helping out with Tigertown, August the 10th. Tickets are $50 if you want to call in. 436-MeTV, option 11. We'll tell you where to call in our next segment to get tickets. Back in a moment.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy-duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
Back here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, Lindsay Sanders and Don Slade. Let me ask you kind of an off-the-cuff question here, not to put you on the spot because you're gracious enough to come by. So when you see good things happening, like you're doing things that you're doing at Edison High School, And there's a lot of stories in the media about Fresno Unified and a lot of negative stories about what's going on in the district, money-wise, academic-wise. We're not the graduation rates aren't what they should be. They're, you got truancy all over the place, all over the district. How do you respond to that?
Well, it's complicated. That's not an easy response. There's so many factors. I've worked in the district for 17 years. I started my career at Roosevelt High School. But one thing I'd say is it cannot be solely reliance on education to make those changes. We need help from the community and the parents, particularly around truancy and getting your kids in school. Because if they're not number one, if a kid's not in school, they're not going to have success.
That's a bad thing.
I'm proud of the district I work for. We've worked very hard. Our teachers work incredibly hard. We've had increases in test scores over the past year. Are they where we want them to be? Absolutely not, but we're making progress.
How do you get kids to stay in school, Don? I mean, that's a tough... I'm sure you had the same problem when you went to school. Kids were, left on their lunch hour, didn't come back. How do you solve that problem? It just seems like almost impossible to force a kid to go to school who doesn't want to go to school. I don't know.
It's when you're at school, you see the kids that want to be there. So you're not around the kids that don't want to be there all the time. So if you know the answer to that one, let me know.
Well, I sure don't. Man, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for that answer so I can tell somebody at headquarters there. But I don't know. What is the answer? Does anybody have the secret?
I don't think there's a magic bullet anywhere. They're kids. There's variables. We're human beings, and what interests us varies. So you look for the most intriguing opportunities and interesting things you can provide for kids, and that's what you push forward. But
the schools have to offer something to keep them interested.
Right. Absolutely. You need engaging teachers,
sports or science or whatever.
Yeah.
You agree with that, Don?
Yeah, and the schools do offer that. They offer sports. They offer science. They offer outlets for students to want to do things, join a club. All those things are there.
Part of the problem is you got to get the parents involved. A lot of these kids, I don't care what school you go to, I don't care what district you're in, they all have the same problems. You have so many parents who are not involved with their children. Either they're not around, perhaps they're in trouble themselves, maybe they're in jail, they're out of the picture, or maybe somebody else is raising them. So that's part of the problem too, and I try to get involved with my kids as much as possible. When they get out of line, boom, the hammer comes down.
Parent involvement is very important.
Parent involvement is would you agree with that?
It's huge. It's essential. It helps, whether it's a parent, a guardian, a grandparent, a mentor, and an adult that can role model for kids is essential.
Yeah, because how can somebody be a principal or a teacher plus be a parent to that kid? It's impossible. You can't be both.
Some cases you are.
But it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah,
it's not easy. You can't go home with a kid. Your job is to mentor them in school, and not really be their parent.
Right. Yeah.
So
the
how do you do
part of it?
Yeah, the mentoring part of it is fine.
As a basketball coach, I did a lot of mentoring.
Me too. As a volleyball coach, and I'm going to tell you that I have a student now who is a graduate. She was homeless, and she was a volleyball player of mine, valedictorian of her class. And she is now a teacher in our system, and she found success because she had a mentor, and it wasn't just me, but there were others. So when kids can find those opportunities for someone to believe in them, it does make a difference.
Yeah, and the student has to want to do it himself too, or herself. They have to have that initiative to be able to go forward and do it. You're going to talk about Tiger Town one more time, because we've got 3 more photos to show before we go here. August the 10th, we're going to see the photos. How about a phone number? Where can they call for tickets? This is the group from last year. What a great looking group there. Give out the phone number.
Well, first we do have online www.edisontigertown.com. You can purchase your tickets that way, or you can call the main office 457-2650. We're open from 7 to 3.
Phone number one more time, slower.
457-2650.
Gotcha.
We're open from 7 to 3 in the main office.
Gotcha. And you can go on the website at Edison High too?
No, it is a separate website, which is www.edisontigertown.com.
Okay. And next photo here, and that's the food line right there. That's my favorite part.
The food was great.
Last year was a buffet. This year will be a sit-down.
Oh, it will?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it will.
Oh, okay. Okay. Any reason for the change? Or?
To allow the program to flow a little bit better. 900 people in line for a buffet takes a little time.
That is a lot of folks. And look at these happy folks here. And that was from last year's event, of course, more than 900 people showing up. Do you really expect to surpass the 900 mark this year?
Well, we've made room for 1,200 this year.
Okay.
And we'd love to have 1,200.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I mentioned at the top of the program that you guys raised $15,000 for last year's event. A lot of money. Where did the majority of that money go? Where is it being dispersed? How is it being dispersed? Can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, we both can talk about that.
Okay.
It varies. The silent auction raised about $7,500 for our students for athletics, various athletic teams. Was it 40?
15,000 went directly to scholarships.
Yes. We had a huge portion that went to scholarships, and then we had the startup of the student store. And then we had a field trip we paid for, and what was the other?
I had a student that was on the PEP squad that couldn't afford their uniform, so we provided money for that.
Right.
And how do you determine who gets the scholarships? Who determines that? Is there a committee? Is there a Tigertown committee?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
you want to speak to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Well,
go ahead.
Whoever.
No, after you.
We had students actually filled out applications, and then the committee members, Don Slade and several others, actually read through the students' applications and a blind scoring. They used a rubric and scored the students, and we selected the highest scored items for individuals for the scholarships.
So you fill out an app, you turn it in, and the committee goes through the applications, basically, and they determine. And how many of those scholarships will you give out per year, and how much is it? A couple of $1,000
However
each? Or?
much money we raise, there's a breakdown level-wise in terms of the scholarship donations.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, it just depends on the money we raise. So most of our money raised for scholarships was through the sponsorships, and so there was a couple individuals that people gave scholarships but wanted to select a student, and then the rest of them we went through the applications.
On average, how much money will each student get for a scholarship?
We had
Roughly.
$500 to $700 worth of scholarships last year, so it just depends on the amount of money raised for the scholarships.
What's the biggest criteria getting the scholarship money? Biggest thing.
We
When you go
used
through
a
the apps.
We used a rubric, so it was academics. It was actually, but that wasn't the highest. There was also a letter that they wrote, a letter of need, a letter about what makes Edison a great school and how to make it better.
So it's everything combined.
Yes, we did a scoring for four different categories: community service and extracurricular. And then once they had a score, then we totaled them and we chose the students who had the highest.
So it's not just grades. It's not just getting straight A's. You got to be involved in the community.
Yes.
Do some charity work, maybe volunteer at Edison, do some work there, and be heavily involved in the student body, I would assume.
Yeah, we absolutely wanted not to have it just be the highest performing students or or have the highest performing students have the same opportunity. We wanted kids that might be going to junior college that maybe the light turned on for them a little later at school. They're a 2.5, or an athlete that is struggling, or a highest performing student that has a financial need. But really, it wasn't just grounded in did you have straight A's and did you have the highest GPA.
Right. Can this be held up as a model for other schools to follow?
I think it could, yes.
And are other schools around the district or anywhere in the valley doing it?
Not to my knowledge.
You're the first.
Yeah, when you do a reunion, each class has their own reunion. As the years increase, the numbers decrease. And to come together, for all the classes to come together and still be able to have their reunion and still be able to see people who they graduated with, or a year or two before, or a year or two after, it serves two purposes.
I got about 30 seconds left. The one question I want out of both of you is how you guys are going to manage without Tim McDonald this year. He went to the Jets. How's the football team going to fare?
Edison will always rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
We have some phenomenal players.
You know I'm only teasing. You know that, don't you? You guys will have a good football team. They always do.
Yes.
There's no question. And basketball.
Yes.
So, continued success. And I wish you the best of luck. August the 10th is at the Ernie Valdez Hall. It's called Tigertown. It's to help raise money for Edison High School. It's a great high school, and it helps raise money for scholarships so kids can, they can go to college. And it's a great event taking place on August the 10th. Don Slade, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. And Lindsay Sanders,
Nice
thank
to
you.
meet
So
you.
nice to meet you too. Thank you for both of you for coming by. Connect with me tomorrow again here on MeTV Fresno. Hope you can join us. Have a great day, and thanks for being with us.
Look at that. Isn't that a great layout? You son of a gun.
This campaign is no good.
No good!
Darren and Larry, the original Mad Men on Bewitched.